Welcome back to Las Vegas. It's always nice to meet someone I've known for years and hated for years. Matt Goss, how are you?
I resemble that remark. Very well, how are you?
Yeah, I'm a deeply unattractive man, and let me tell you, through my whole childhood growing up, everybody loved Matt Goss and nobody loved me.
Well, first of all, I think you're going for the sympathy vote, and I think that's truly unfair. You've got your beautiful wife?
Not wife, but nearly wife.
Nearly wife, okay. I know. Is that the technical term?
Yes, my common law assistant.
Sitting next to you, and he's. You don't have a face for radio. I think you're just going for the sympathy vote.
No, but let's face it, you were the man that everybody loved for a certain period of your life, and you still are desirable. How does that feel?
You think I'm desirable?
No, I don't think you're desirable. I'm going to try wife first, and then I'll come back to you. Is that all right?
No, I'm going to... to me, I just really genuinely, not to sound too modest, but it's just, I really do... I'm just blessed that I feel I can go out on stage and still sing my heart out and just do what I do. 20 years on, I'm still doing shows, and I'm still singing and writing songs, and I'm connecting with a new audience every night. The crazy thing about Las Vegas is you never know who's going to be in the audience, and some people know me, and majority of people don't, and they want to just be entertained. And so it's a massive challenge, and it's a different hat, but it's a fun one.
Let's start right at the beginning. Were you always interesting and entertaining and different?
I think that when you're born a twin, I think you immediately have some kind of title, and I think it's a good thing and a bad thing. You got to learn how to fight pretty quick when you're at school. Luckily, you got somebody exactly the same size as you backing you up every time. But it's I think that music was in our blood early on. We were in our first band since we were 12, and I remember our first band was called Caviar. We had no idea what it was, and when we found out it was fish eggs, we quickly changed the name, and then we went on stage one time and we were called Ice, I think we were called. And then we went on stage, and our manager at the time, when we were 14 or 15 doing a cover of Careless Whisper, introduced us as Pulse 2. And I got on the mic and I said, no, we're not Pulse 2, we're Ice, like anybody gave a shit.
Right.
And I thought the 2 was a strange part as well. Who was Pulse? Is there a Pulse 1? But it was just, the music industry is tumultuous, and there's left turns when you think there are going to be right turns, and highs where you think there are going to be lows, and vice versa. And I think that just to stay in the music industry and continue to do what you do is to me I really believe that's the definition of success. 20 something years later, I'm still doing my thing, and I'm loving it.
It seems like the fun's gone now out of show business for the kids. I mean, they come and they go so quickly. I don't think anybody's on the wall as long as you guys were. Do you notice the point when the business just didn't work for people anymore?
I think that the sense of occasion. I have other businesses outside of music now, and I think the word that phrase "sense of occasion" is slowly left the music industry. I think that for me, it isn't cool to just not really pretend at least not to give a shit about what you're doing. And I think that I really take every performance like it's my first, and I'm like, a note's coming out of my throat, and I'm like, this is insane. And I think that it used to be cool to be, bright and gracious, and now it's cool to be a bit of a loony and whatever it was, the cheeky chappy, I think is a phrase, and I think there's room for that, but I think there's also got to be a sense of occasion in music. Like when I see go and see Stevie Wonder in concert, I'm like, I get butterflies before he comes on, and I think that the sheer love of music, and also when music went digital, as crazy as it may sound, I think when music went digital, I think that the value of music kind of got lost as well. People don't realise it does still cost money to make music, and we're desperately scrambling to find revenue from music. And you can download a track free anywhere on the web now, and that isn't to say that I don't think it should be, but I think there should be some kind of, when you got an album, you'd pull out the album sleeve and you'd be like, wow. That's why I think I heard recently that there were 2 million sales increase in vinyl in America last year. I read that somewhere, and I think it's because the sense of occasion. People like to figure out what's going on in the artist's mind, and whether it be pop, indie, rock, or in between. It's like, and I think that's the thing. The sense of occasion is the thing that's missing.
Another way you can make music and make money at the same time is to sell out Wembley 15 nights on the trot.
Yeah.
When you were in the height of all of that nonsense, could you believe your luck?
I don't think you think it was luck at the time. I mean, I think that it was such a roller coaster at the time. You get your schedule, you get your call sheet under your door, and our schedule wasn't, every half an hour. It was every 7 minutes you were doing this, and 7:35 you're doing this, 7:39 you're doing this. It was literally like that, and we would end up doing 30 to 40 interviews a day, then performances, then after show. It was just so manic. We just did our thing, and I only realise now how difficult it would be to get 70,000 people in Wembley Stadium, and as you say, 15 Wembleys, but that's what gets me through certain reviews, and I've been very blessed out here. I've had some incredible reviews, and the comparisons to Sinatra and all that. I would like to say that I have not said that once, and it's purely flattering to me. Then I've got to get on with business and entertain people. I've only been here at Caesars. I've only been here, I think, 5 weekends, and we've made a real old dent. And then before that, the Palms. But Caesars is my home, and I'm proud to be in this iconic structure. And I think that you go into a room, that you do a show, and then afterwards it turns into a club, and you're looking at people having a good time, and I could never have called this. And when I compare playing a couple hundred people in Caesars Palace to Wembley Stadium, they both match up to me, because I'm a man now, and I feel, and I realise how difficult both of those things are.
I hope you take this as a compliment, because it's meant as one, but what's nice is you're fully clothed doing this show. It's not about being sexy and getting the girls to just scream because you're gorgeous. This is a place where they'll scream if you can sing. If you can't, you'll be booed off and not asked back.
Well, 2 things. I'm actually naked in my mind. Right. As we're doing this interview. I hope you don't mind that.
And so am I, by the way.
Oh, fantastic, sir. I'm glad that's...
Not much happening, is there?
No. Yeah, but in our mind, it's full on, mate. It's full on. And we're both looking at your missus, which is even stranger.
Right. I look like I'm modelling for scatter cushions. I don't know when...
Scatter cushions.
Door knockers.
I can't be that one.
Button mushrooms, anything.
Bean bags. You go out there and you just take things for granted. You really got to... I'm determined to get people to have a good time, and there is a certain way of doing things in this town, and some of them I've gone with, and some I've gone against the grain, and I think that works. You just got to really stick to your guns, and I do manage to get the room going and warmed up, and everyone, by 3 a.m, the room's actually more full. It really is like becoming a destination point, and it really is a challenge. It's a challenge of a lifetime, really, to get strangers to be emotional, like happy, sad. It's a real roller coaster of a show, and I think that the thing that keeps me leveled, I guess, and I've not really even thought about this until now, I think the thing that does keep me leveled, that I have played Wembley Stadium, and no matter what you want to say, whether it be 20 years ago or I have played, and I have sold 20 million records, and I think that if I can sometimes, just in the quiet of my own mind, fully clothed, that's my own personal reality, and I think that's comforting if I'm allowed to be that honest and say that those achievements are sometimes sobering, and they give me peace. So and whether anyone cares or not, it's a sobering moment for me, where I do actually think about those things and go, okay, well, this is a challenge, but it's maybe not as big as a challenge as going out in front of 70,000 people, and so I think that again, it's just that you entertainment is can be healing on the craziest level. I recently did an interview for the US military radio, and we had some Marines, US Marines, come to the show. We get quite a few soldiers coming in, and I'm a real royalist, and I'm a real proud Brit as well, very proud Brit, and I'm actually very proud to be an American. And Wayne Newton came to the show recently, and he's the president of the USO, and this soldier who had his hands sewn to his rib cage to regrow his vascular system in his arm, shook my hand and handed me his Valor coin. And I had a coin on me at the time that I always travel everywhere with this coin. It had on one side it had a Ganesh, the Hindu god of remover of all obstacles. On the other side it had an Om. It was made out of solid rose gold with a diamond diamond stone on the Ganesh's forehead, and it was strange that I was given a coin, and I thought I would never give this coin away. And he's surrounded by other soldiers, and in particular one war hero who is I won't name, was a special ops guy, and I handed him my coin at the same time, and the reason I'm telling you this story is because those little moments are so profound to me. They go beyond record sales, go beyond fans, they go beyond performance. And that moment will be with me for the rest of my life. When you see, 10 Marines with tears in their eyes because of an emotional moment that we've all shared, I can't even really, sometimes I just have to switch off from other things that seem so trivial. So that those little moments to me are humongous moments within my life personally. So I get to witness all these glorious little moments that because of performance, and that's really all it is. And that's, if it can be viewed as just performance, and if some of the Brits can be pleased that I'm out here genuinely representing our lovely island, as well as representing hopefully good entertainment, that's really all it is for me.
Everybody's so proud of you, and they've said such lovely things in the paper, and they're not always nice about everybody, are they?
Not really. As you know, I've well witnessed 20 years of a bashing. I think that I was actually quite shocked to see this last, wave of good press. I mean, it's taken 20 years, and I still, I'm still humbled by it. I understand the process of the press. I do respect certain opinions. I am baffled sometimes with some of the things they say, but it goes with the territory. So I don't think celebrities should whinge about the press. So, but I do want to knock a few of them out. Being a Peckham boy,
right? Why not do it live on stage? This could be the finale.
No, I'm not going down that road. Trust me.
Listen, before we go, congratulations finally. I just want one snippet of how it feels to stand there in front of 70,000 people knowing that 60,000 of them want to sleep with you. If it wasn't for show business, I wouldn't get anything. Honestly, Matt, how does that feel?
He's quite a funny bloke, this one, isn't he? I think that there is something, again, I'm going to sound like a hippie, but there is something quite extraordinary about walking out in front of that many people, and at that moment you come on stage, there is a wave, an absolute sheer rock hard wave of energy that hits you in the face, and as a room heats up, doesn't matter what it's like. Any performer listening to this interview will tell you, when a room starts to warm up, there's no real feeling like it, and I guess that's why I'm still mad enough to be in this industry.
I'm very popular with pensioners.
Well, I've heard that. They call them, I think they're commonly known as gilfs.
Are they really?
Yes.
I'll have to try one of those. Matt Goss, thank you so much for talking to us. I better let you go and do the show. You're on in 5 minutes.
The one is actually 4 minutes, actually.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, mate.